Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us today. Here at the Chamber, we continue to connect you to people, information, businesses, and each other virtually and in person now. And I am very happy to introduce Carrie Eberhardt from the Morris County Vocational School District to talk about their intern program. I do want to mention before passing it over that we have received 2 wonderful interns that are still doing work for us on the side even after graduating from this program. So the Chamber highly recommends it. I love those interns, they're fantastic. But with that, let me pass it over to Carrie.
Thanks, Kaylee. My name is Carrie Eberhardt. I am the Director of Programs at the Morris County Vocational School District, and I want to thank you for taking time out of your day to join us, whether that be now live on the webinar or via Facebook or at a future date viewing a recording. We very much appreciate you taking time out of your busy days to explore the idea of working with us and providing work-based learning opportunities to the students of Morris County. I also want to say thank you so much to the Chamber. As Kaylee mentioned, they've been incredibly supportive and an example of how a partnership can work to benefit students. And I also want to thank Jane Armstrong and Beth Rogers at the Workforce Development Board, who continue to also support us and offer opportunities to students and connect us to employers. To get us started, I'm going to give you just an overview of the Morris County Vocational School District. We are constantly evolving, so if you have been familiar with any of our programs in the past, we are constantly changing, and there might be some updates that would be beneficial to know. So the mission continues to be the same. Our mission is to inspire and prepare students to succeed in today's world and pursue tomorrow's opportunities. And work-based learning and employer partnerships that we will talk about today are essential to that mission. We are a vocational school district, so every student in our district is enrolled in a career and technical education program. We have high school programs, and we also have continuing adult education programs as well. We have 30+ high school programs, and I'm adding a plus there because we continue to grow. We have programs that we are right now accepting the first applicants for the first cohort into those programs. So 30 programs for high school students, and those come in 2 different sort of structures. So students can come to us for their full-time high school. So this is a comprehensive high school. They choose a career and technical education program when they apply in 8th grade, and they come to us for 9th grade through 12th grade and graduate from their academy with their full comprehensive high school experience, but specifically focusing on a career area. We also have share time programs, which might be to the viewers more familiar to you in the traditional sense. Maybe high school students are taking their core academics at their home school, and they do that freshman and sophomore year, and then in their junior and senior year, spend half of their day here with us at the vocational school, concentrating on a career and technical education program. Whether the students are enrolled in full-time or share time does not change the number of credits and the amount of time that they spend focusing on that career area. It's just structured differently whether students attend full-time academies or share time programs. In Denville, we have our main campus, and you'll hear that be called Morris County School of Technology under the Morris County Vocational School District. We also have satellite campuses around Morris County. So some of those programs are at County College of Morris, some are at sending districts around the county. So whether it's full-time or share time, as I said before, it's 40 credits of career and technical career-related education. Students learn practical, hands-on, and theory-based coursework. And students earn certifications while they're in high school that are relevant to the industry that they're looking to be employed. They earn college credit and also other industry-valued credentials. The coursework in CTE is rigorous. It is guided by an advisory board. So every one of our CTE programs engages with employer partners and post-secondary partners, as well as parents and students and school district stakeholders, to make sure that that program is evolving with industry trends and making sure that we're offering students the opportunities to earn credentials that are relevant and everything that they need to be able to be successful in that career field. Again, industry recognized credentials are a key component of CTE and an end of program assessment. We have many different student competitions and career-related clubs that students participate in. Each one of our shops and career classrooms have industry standard equipment and technology. Again, these are recommendations that we get from our advisory council. And we have work-based learning, which is the focus of today's presentation and is a huge part of a component of the CTE program. So an overview of the programs that we offer. On the left here, you'll see that these are our academy programs. Again, we are adding new programs right now as we speak. So animal science, biotechnology, computer information sciences, culinary arts, and you can read the list on down to sports medicine. And keep in mind that these are the areas, everything that I just talked about with industry recognized credentials and college credit and hands-on learning and industry standard facilities and equipment. These are the programs that we focus on. So keep this in mind as we talk about work-based learning and which areas and which programs might your organization be able to partner with us to offer students opportunities to learn. In our share time programs, these are our 2-year programs. We have allied health and auto service, different types of construction trades, cosmetology, engineering, design and prototyping, plumbing and pipe fitting, welding. So we have a diverse number of programs in that 2-year programs as well. So to talk a little bit about work-based learning, if you're not familiar with what it is, work-based learning is really an umbrella term for learning experiences that happen in collaboration with employer partners. So that could be something immersive, like an internship where students, and Kaylee was mentioning that the Chamber has had interns in the past. That's where it's more of an immersive experience where students are spending a significant amount of time under the supervision and mentorship of an industry professional. And all of our seniors in our academy programs must complete as a graduation requirement at least 120 hours of an internship. And our share time programs, students can participate in co-op where they would actually go out to work rather than going to their classroom for that day. So either spending their whole afternoon or their whole morning out at a work site. But the most important piece of work-based learning is that it's collaborative, and it can't happen without the partners in the employer partners and the school programs to support it. I just wanted to highlight some of our current and past partners and some of the testimonials from their supervisors. So we've had some of our students from math, science, and engineering participate in an internship with Pfizer Digital. And Mike Tomasco, as a mentor for the students, highlighted that the students were extremely motivated and they brought new and interesting perspectives to the team and their environment. Pfizer also partnered with us to do a drug discovery game, which we brought in our biotechnology, our math, science, and engineering, healthcare, and animal science programs to participate in that. So work-based learning doesn't only have to be an internship or hiring a student. It can also be different types of events where employers either host field experiences or full-day learning experiences for groups of students as well. So Pfizer's been a great partner. Prudential, another really strong partner who has engaged with our programs in multiple ways, specifically our computer and information science program. They have been working with our program in a bunch of different ways. So they invite the students into their facilities for a full day field trip. And they do some training with the students as well as, some career guidance. And then they come into the school and they present a challenge or a problem for our computer science students in their junior year to complete. And then the students complete the project, they bring people from their team back in, and they give feedback to the students on how they did with the project. And then they hire 2 to 3 interns for the following year. So this is another example of a way that a company has offered multiple levels of work-based learning for our students. So as I mentioned before, work-based learning can only happen if we have a strong partnership, and that's what we're trying to build constantly. So the school plays a part, the student obviously is at the center, and then the family needs to be supportive. Sometimes transportation is something that needs to be supported, and they have to sign off on it and agree to the experience. And then the employer mentor is really creating kind of a classroom outside of our school for the students. So understanding that it's a learning experience, being willing to take the student under their wing and show them what they need to be successful. But also, the student is contributing back to that organization. But this is the partnership that needs to be in place for success. We do have a work-based learning agreement that all parties sign prior to the internship beginning, and we're focusing specifically on internship right now. And that goes out via a digital system that we have called Transio, and it goes right to the email, you sign it, and then that goes into our system. Our students, and this is a question that's always at the front of people's minds when you're considering taking a student into your organization for an internship, they are covered under the County of Morris's liability insurance program because we are a county institution. We have state approved career and technical education programs, and students on the work site are covered under that liability insurance program. Once the students are approved to start the internship, you'll get a letter from the County of Morris with stating that the student is covered. Another thing to mention is sometimes we'll have, either in a healthcare field or an auto service shop or a biotechnology lab, we hear a lot that you're not able to hire students unless they're 18. That actually doesn't apply to state-approved career and technical education programs in hazardous occupations. So if a student is actively learning and enrolled in a CTE program, you are able to hire students that you wouldn't normally be able to hire until they were 18. You can hire 16 and 17-year-olds as long as they're enrolled in one of our programs. So for example, in culinary, in a kitchen, in, like I mentioned before, an auto service shop or an auto body shop or a welding shop, you can actually hire students 16 to 17 years old. If it is in a hazardous occupation, the students must be paid. They have to be on payroll. Even though they are also covered under our liability insurance. That's, by code, they have to be paid. The goal for any work-based learning and internship or share time work study is at least 120 hours. It can be more or less. Students in our full-time academies need to complete 120 hours. So they would have to, move on to another internship if you could only offer them something less than that. But we can definitely customize and work with you for what works. Another benefit to the employer is, many of our students are going on to college, but also many of our students are looking to have full-time or part-time employment right after high school. So some of our partners have looked at this as an opportunity to hire a student, and then if it works out, offer them a position after graduation. But the one benefit is that it does have a start and end date. And on the work-based learning agreement, it does say that there's no obligation to hire a student after this experience. So this is considered part of their education, and they are earning credits for it. And the agreement will have an end date to the experience. If you choose to hire the student, on your own afterwards, that's wonderful. It's definitely a positive outcome for both the student and the employer, but there is no obligation. So I mentioned before, students they're earning high school credit. So this is, obviously the school is accountable to supervising and working with the employer to make sure that the student is learning and that their learning is aligned with the standards that we need to be teaching. It is an extension of their career and technical education classroom. We do have teachers who are actively engaged in communicating with the students while they are on site throughout the internship experience, so that we're keeping consistency between the classroom and what's going on in the field. The professional mentor is really a teacher, and while the students, especially in a paid position, are expected to fulfill the role of their employee responsibilities, but also understanding that if we are approving it as an internship, they're also earning credit, so there is a role that the school plays as well. We have work-based learning coordinators who must visit the site if it's in person, and we are able to offer remote internships as well. But if it is in person, the work-based learning coordinators will have to visit close to every 10th time that the student reports to their site. So that is coordinated through the student, the mentor, and the work-based learning coordinator. And they're usually there for a half an hour or less, just observing, talking to the student, talking to the mentor, seeing how everything is going, and in what ways we can be supportive, and obviously making sure that the student is safe. The work-based learning mentor does obviously provide supervision while the student is on site, and we also ask for feedback. The feedback is around 12 career-ready practices, and it is a simple rating, and we do it at 40 hours, 80 hours, and 120 hours. And that is all facilitated through Transio, our web-based system for managing all of our student experiences. I should also mention Transio will send out the agreement. Once the agreement is solidified, then students are able to submit their hours. So if they worked 4 hours on a Saturday, when they submit those hours, they also type in a reflection. That reflection and the hours will go to the mentor to click off that you approve that they did complete those hours. And then it comes to the school, and we're able to look at what they're learning and approve those hours. Here's just a list of a sample list of our partners that we're working with now, and we have worked with in the past, that have all given us positive feedback about their interns. And we're certainly hoping that anybody here today and viewing this in the future are interested in partnering with us. So if that's true, if we've piqued your interest and you're looking for next steps, you could be in 2 different places. So one would be you're ready to hire a student or host a group of students for a field experience. And so your next step would be to use this QR code on the right, on the top right, to get directly to a form to input your information. Or if you have access to this link via the presentation, you can click there. You also might just be, okay, I know this is interesting, but I need a little bit more information. So what I've done in the past and has been really successful, especially with large companies and organizations that might have multiple opportunities for students across different departments. I've created a custom presentation for the organization, and usually the point person who reaches out to set this up will coordinate a group of employees from their different departments, and I will give a presentation and talk about the different programs that we have, the different skill sets that students have, and training, and identify areas that would be a best fit to either begin the partnership or connect with people to move on to the next steps. So if this is something that interests you, you can either email me directly at eberhardk@mcvts.org, or you can use this QR code and it'll take you directly to an email that has a subject line in it already to request a custom presentation for your organization. So that is it for today. I do have a flyer that you can download and share with anybody in your organization if you want to bring this up to them, or share with any any friends or neighbors who you think might have opportunities available for students. And the flyer has a lot of the information that we've talked about today, and my contact information as well. So, and it also has the work-based learning coordinators. That would be Angela Diorsi, Peter Bedell, and Mary Hammond, and each of them work specifically with different programs. So for example, healthcare would be Mary Hammond, engineering, Peter Bedell. So the flyer outlines that for you. But if you want to contact me or use anything that I've shared with you in this presentation so far, that's a good place to get started. So again, thank you so much to the Chamber, and thank you to everybody taking your time to learn a little bit more about us.
All right, so thank you so much, Carrie, for this presentation. Again, the Chamber wouldn't be able to do what we've done without the support of programs such as this and partnerships such as this. And again, the incredible interns that we've gotten have done a tremendous and amazing amount of work for us. And we always appreciate that. And the effort that the vocational school district puts into our community, training up the workforce. So thank you for joining us. And thank you, Carrie, again for the presentation. And I hope to see you all at the next event or webinar. So take care, everyone.
Thank you.